Yeah. Yo, what's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan in Hampton. And we go this way. No, here with me is our guy, Football Junkie. And welcome to Saturday Sit Down, straight barbershop time. Give it up. Yeah, man. Here we are, setting it up again, man. How you doing, Football Junkie?
Oh man, I'm doing good. I'm doing as good as possible be, man. It's June.
Ooh, I know it. Ooh.
It's June.
Yeah, we just got through with getting through with OTAs. We're gonna take a little time off and we're gonna come back to training camp, ain't that right?
And then we got July, then August. Then everybody can stop licking their chops then, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Real talk, man, because the anticipation is steady building with what we got on this field, man, we done brought to the field. And it's some things that we want to see. It's hard to see anything when you just go in football helmet and jersey and shorts, you know. But but I can say this though, that the energy is really, really high, man. The energy is high.
Yeah.
And man, just and I'm gonna tell you something here, to be honest with you, brother. I was still having some concerns and everything, but I was leaning this side for a minute, and then I listened to Michael Irvin's podcast and what he had to say when he was invited to the practice. Now I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but Michael Irvin and a lot of other legends were invited to the practice, not only to the practice but to the meeting. And this is something I don't think we've seen since Jimmy Johnson. So give it up for Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
So he literally invited a lot of legends to the field. And like I say, it's hard to not believe a Hall of Famer like Michael Irvin that participated in the organization. So after listening to him, and I'll probably put the link down so you can watch his video if you haven't seen his podcast, but he had some really high things to say about what took place. And I'm not gonna get on all that because it's not this video. But so that was a liable source for me to say, if y'all sleeping, we creeping.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what Michael Irvin said. Y'all can sleep if you want, sleep on these Cowboys if you want to. So while y'all sleeping on them, we gonna be creeping on them. What? Wait a minute. Yes, sir. So man, but you get a chance. Y'all need to check out that Michael Irvin podcast, man. He had a lot of good things to say. But let's get on into this, man. First of all, before we get started, welcome again, Football Junkie in the house. Give it up for Football Junkie. Everybody wants to hear what he got to say. They be asking about Football Junkie. Well, what did Football Junkie say? Well, wait a minute. Now you ain't gonna ask me first. But they want to hear what Football Junkie got to say. But I appreciate Football Junkie, man. We just got not long we was together, we hooked up for a short period of time, right? What was it, last week?
Last week. Last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend. That sure was last weekend.
Last weekend. Yeah.
Whew, boy.
Yeah. You
a lot of things that happened since.
You're putting down 20.
Woo, man, trying to get there, man. Trying to get there. But let's get into this. But I want to say big shout out to everyone, all the subscribers and all the followers that follow us on the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Again, like I always say, without you guys and your support, we would not be where we are today. So let's give it up for those that are a part of the Cowboy Huddle. Yeah, man. We bring you more news that you can use, straight barbershop talk. We come together in the Cowboy Huddle and talk about the Cowboys. So with that being said, I don't know if you see it, Football Junkie. It says Deuces wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you what Deuces. I'm gonna give you a definition of what Deuces wow mean, because a lot of us, we heard the word, but so it says Deuces wow means that any deuce 2 in the deck is a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it can be used to represent any other card in the deck. Give it up. Football Junkie, I know they're a little lost and said, why are we talking about cards?
Okay. It's all about how they being played.
Ooh, on, give it up one more time. Somebody say that's a good one, man. So yeah, so what we saying, man? And you and I, we talked about this, man. And yeah. And we were saying that there's a sleeper out there that I think everybody's sleeping on. And we probably say, and I think a lot of us would say, well, shoot, when this guy get cut, man, he's out of here. He's a non-factor. He's irrelevant and everything like that. But let me get into it. So there's this player, and I'm gonna bring him up, that might be Deuces Wild. And let's get right into who this individual is. So this individual has been around the team for some time now. But, let's do it to him, brother. Yeah, we're talking about Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn. Now, people have a problem, people have counted, Deuce Vaughn out, and they basically are saying, let's, we need to get rid of this guy, and there's just it's no room for this guy. It was a beautiful. I even said it myself. It was a beautiful story. I said it was a beautiful story, and it was a wasted pick. But you know what, Football Junk, I might have to change my mind. Yeah. And I'm saying that to say this here. The reason I'm changing my mind, we have to go back. And I know people saying, why are we talking about Deuce? But we're going to set him up. We're going to set him up to knock him out the park. Okay, Football Junkie, we're going to set him up to knock him out the park. So we're talking about Deuce Vaughn simply because of his career at Kansas State. Let me see if I can pull up his career at Kansas State, bro. I want let's see here. Let me see it. So I hope we can see this here. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. So let's just do it like this. This is Deuce Vaughn's stats when he was at. Well, no, I'm sorry. No. That's not the one I want. This is when he was at Dallas. So he played 7 games in 2 years. 23 one time, 17 another one. 40 yards 1 year, 70 yards another. Mm-hmm. But, and I say that to say this here too, Football Junkie. Deuce just did not fit. He did not fit the scheme. Or what do you think? I mean, did you?
No, he didn't fit the scheme what McCarthy had going on with the Cowboys. Right. Quite a few of the players didn't fit the scheme under Mike McCarthy. His toolage of his variation of the West Coast West joke offense, but Deuce didn't fit into that at all, man. None whatsoever. That offensive scheme was basically set for a lot of people to get hurt. We saw it with the offensive line.
And you're so true. So, and I just want to show that this his production with the Cowboys. But this is what I do want to share, man. I want to share this right here, brother. Now let's go back. Let's go back to this, man, as far as him being at Kansas State. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. I know it's kind of small, but I want to blow this up a little bit. But yeah, if you look at this here, man, let's see if we can blow this up. And if you notice his production, can you see that there, brother?
Yeah, I can see it a little bit. You can probably blow it up a little bit more.
Okay, let me blow it up a little bit more. Let me get this thing so we can all see this. But man, we got to get it. Yeah. Okay. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So let's look at this here, brother. So now we're looking at this guy, man. We're talking about a kid that come from Kansas State, which everybody was saying, man, this kid was, and in which he was great. He was great. If you look at 2020, let me see if we can go back.
Some good numbers.
2020, he finished the season with 642 yards. 2021, he played 13 games. He finished the season with 1,404 yards. Mm-hmm. 2022, he finished with 1,558 yards. Mm-hmm. For a total of 3,604 yards. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is what he did in Kansas, okay? We're talking about what
touchdowns.
Yeah, look at the touchdowns, brother. I mean, and wait a minute. Let's go. And I'm going somewhere with this. And I know people say, why is this about Deuce? But look at this. 2020, 325 for receptions for 434 yards. 2021, 49 for 468.
These receiving yards there.
42 for 378, a total of 1,280 yards, bro. Give it up for Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
Deuce Vaughn, you better give me my flowers, brother, because I'm putting you out there, man. Because you know everybody done wrote you off and everything, but we finna put this into effect. But
and he was the lead dog too.
Say that again.
He was the lead dog too.
Yeah, man. Look at that. 9 TDs in 2020, 22 TDs in 2021, 12 tweets, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And we can go further than that. Let's go further. Let's go. Hell, he on kickoff return.
Kickoff return. Mm-hmm.
This kid did everything, man. So I say that to say this, and then I know everybody's saying, "Well, why are we talking about Deuce Vaughn again?" Well, that was an individual that saw something in this 5'6", 174-pound running back, and I know people saying, "Well, okay, so what?" Well, there's something to be said about this as well, too, football junkie. And this guy, that's Connor Riley. Riley, I'm sorry, Connor Riley. That's who that is. So this guy was the offensive line coach. So let me get off into information about it. So prior to his time in Manhattan, Riley spent time as offensive line coach at North Dakota State University. Check this out. Setting records and winning a total of 5 national championships in the process before eventually being named offensive coordinator in his move to the Wildcats. Give it up. Yeah. So, okay, follow us, because football junkie, you're going to have to fill them in what's really going on. So it also says under his tenure, the Russian attack at Kansas State launched to second best in the Big 12 with more than 200 rushing yards per game on average, and the offense as a whole averaged more than 31 points per contest. It also says Riley prowess is expect to marry well with what newly hired offensive coordinator and former offensive line coach Clayton Adams and Derek Foster, also newly hired but in the role of running back coach, all look to do under the design of who? Marty Schottenheimer. You think they get it now? You think they don't get it?
If they don't know, they're gonna know. Let's kind of go back to his previous resume with North Dakota State. And North Dakota State frequently played a lot of national championships. Where at the Star.
At the Star,
so he has history with coming to the Star. So you done spoke with Jerry a time or two, Steven a time or two, Jerry Jr. a time or two for coming to the Star for being at North Dakota State. Now you go from North Dakota State. North Dakota State is known for their prowess of being a power run team. Now he goes over to K-State, the original Big 12 before Texas and OU left. And he gets that Texas and OU. Because I remember watching K-State getting that Texas and OU. They got at him. And now he's in the league.
And
K-State ran that ball too, man.
And this is why we're saying don't write. This is why we're talking about Deuces Wild, because the man that was responsible for Deuce Vaughn's success is Connor Riley, which now Connor Riley is the Cowboys offensive line coach. Now, not only are we talking about Deuce Vaughn, but you got to remember we got Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe comes right up under this now. The same scheme. Now, while we're talking about Deuce, football junkie, who better knows the scheme of Connor Riley than Deuce Vaughn?
Cooper BB.
Who's on this football team that knows this man's scheme better than Deuce Vaughn?
Okay.
While we sit up here trying to say, "Oh, Deuce Vaughn, man, he's done." Wait a minute, you got the coach that coached him. Do you not think this man is not going to endorse him or promote some type of way Deuce Vaughn because he knows what Deuce Vaughn can do?
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Most definitely so, man. Most definitely so, because I mean, similarity brings familiarity. So, hey, it's gonna make Deuce feel more comfortable about what's going on. And he'll be able to see a more different variation of Deuce Vaughn than we have had in the last couple of seasons. Not only just with the variation of Deuce Vaughn, and then like we talked about last night, what else we got in the stable?
Yeah, yeah. But I gotta show you something about this guy, man, Connor Riley, man. Wow, Deuce Vaughn was there. Come on, man. We finna enlighten y'all on some things, and I understand what we were saying. But not only are we just talking about Deuce Vaughn, but you also got. That was the reason we brought what's his name, Jaden Blue.
Yeah, Jalen Blue, Martha.
Jaden Blue. You got, like I said, we can't even count out Miles.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even count him out because of what Connor Riley and what Clayton Adams look for in a running back. But I want to share this. Let's share this. I'm going to show you this man's Connor Riley's stats as a offensive line coach. Let me see if I can bring this up. Check this out, bro. Look at this guy. This is his ratings, bro. Let me see. Hold on. This is his ratings. I mean, are we looking at this? Wait a minute. Let me pull this up. Where is it at? Oh, bro, are you serious? That right there is rank 1 in inside zone. Rank 2 in outside zone blocking. Rank 3. I mean, look at these numbers, man.
And that man-to-man blocking, 9 times out of 10, some of that man-to-man blocking is pass blocking.
60, bro. I mean, this, he ain't. We can see right now he's not into all the trick stuff. You can see that down there at the bottom. But but the thing about it is what this guy is doing, man. I mean, we fail to realize. Look at this, man.
But when you look at that inside zone and outside zone, you can make a inside zone and outside zone play look like a run play, but it is disguising a pass play.
Yeah.
That's a play action. Inside zone, outside zone, or play action pass plays right there.
You see what I'm saying? So again, and we know that Clayton Adams, we got to talk about Clayton Adams. Clayton Adams, who did he use over in Arizona? He used James Conner. James Conner he wasn't a real big running back. He wasn't a real big running back. He was one of those shifty, get up in the hole type of running backs, and he wasn't big, but he gonna get you 5-6 yards on every carry because of the style of blocking scheme that they use. So here we are. We got Jaden Blue. We have Deuce Vaughn. We have Javonte Williams, and I'm just calling out the backfield, and we have to figure out who's going to fit better in this backfield. And then we got Phil Maffa, and then we got Hunter Luke. So it's a crowded backfield, and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is another. So they got these shifty running backs for a reason.
These cards.
That's right.
They can be played.
Cards.
Yeah.
Deuces wild.
Deuces wild.
Now we know that they brought in Javonte and Miles Sanders before we even did the draft. And that was more, I think it was more of a security,
Right.
move
Right.
because we didn't have any running back because we lost Rico Dowdle. But again, man, looking at what Connor Riley brings to the table, now he's coming from Kansas State and he had Deuce Vaughn and Cooper Beebe under his wing while he was there, and we saw these two guys how successful we just gave you the numbers, we just gave you the accolades that this man did when he was in North Dakota State and Kansas State. Now he's here with Dallas.
Right.
He's here at Dallas with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not saying that he's going to be the starter. We're not saying that. But I think there's going to be a place for him, football junkie.
There's a place for him. There's a place for him. I feel like I agree with you. There very much so can be a place for Deuce to be able to get inside of the action with what's going on. And like we said, man, we both agree. Let's go with the youth movement.
See, and that's
let's
the
go
thing.
with this youth movement. Let's go with it because
you can't. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because when you look at when we talk about the cards, Deuces, he's the wild card. When you look at Jadon Blue, he's the high joker. When you look at Williams, he's a possible low joker on the situation, and maybe Moffa's the low joker. We don't know who's going to be the low joker, but we know who the wild card is when it comes to the situation. Deuce is the wild card. Jadon Blue, high joker. I don't see Miles being an effective role in this situation for us, because I look at Hunter as possibly the jack or the queen of the situation.
Ooh. Broke down the deck of cards, and that's so true. Yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying, and I think I'm gonna label Phil Maffa the ace of spades.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That's the ace of spade, man. That Phil Maffa is the ace of spade. Ooh,
okay. He in a sweet spot.
He's in a sweet spot. And
he in a sweet spot
this year. And people say, well, we got Jadon Blue in the 5th round. But again, we got Phil Maffa in the 7th round. And the only reason he fell so far because he wasn't able to participate in the combine on his pro day. Yeah, so man, we beat the picks.
Yeah.
We beat the picks. They fell in our lap. What happened when CD fell in our lap? What happened when Michael fell in our lap?
Okay.
Here we are again.
Okay.
So with that being said, man, I got video right here, brother. I want to show with the people, but we're gonna go into just to look at this blocking scheme and see what made Deuce so good, what made him as good as he was. But we say that to say now that we have Connor Riley here at the Star, now that we have Clayton Adams here at the Star, and these guys are run heavy type coaches, bro.
The big uglies got to get ugly. They got to be nasty, dog. That's the whole ideal of bringing in Booker.
You're sure right. You sure
That's
right.
The whole idea. So he can, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing for sure, two things for real. A vet don't want to get showed up by no rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is competition and pressure, brother, with what Schottenheimer got going over there. And like I said, listen to the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Famer say he got goosebumps to seeing how things was running over there. I got to follow the Hall of Famer, man. So with that being said, man, let's get on into this video, man, and let's look at the highlights of this dude, man, and what made him as good as he was and how did he get these yards that he got. So now we're going to watch Deuce Vaughn, but we got to pay attention to this front line as well. So let's get into this. Check this out, man. Let's just watch it, brother, man. Look at this, man.
Red stick. Body on body.
The pulling. And instead of them trying to run him up, yeah. Look at that play. This is what Deuce is good at, man.
Everybody putting a
Are
hat
you
on a
seeing that
man.
football junkie?
Yeah.
That football junkie?
Everybody putting a hat on a man.
Yeah, man. That's a scheme, though. Look at that. Look at this. It's just doing the rest.
Look at the
But you
passing
put
line.
Deuce in an open space. But I'm more looking at. Look at that. Look at the blocking scheme, bro.
Mm-hmm. Them boys just pushing folks around, man.
The blocking scheme. So, Rez, say that again.
I said them boys pushing folks around. Not only that, them boys going to the second level. Some of them blocking defensive backs besides just blocking linebackers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That is the thing. It's the scheme. It's the scheme. So I know we sitting here talking about Deuces why, but there's a reason why, because Cooper Beebe and Deuce Vaughn came from under Connor Riley. Connor Riley is not going to coach these running backs without bringing Deuce. Deuce got to play some type of role in this offense. So I don't think it'll be Deuce Vaughn losing his job. He'll be, like you say, what you call him, he's the what?
Hey, he's the wild card.
He's the wild card.
Yes, sir.
And we're not saying that he's going to be the main contributor, but but we're going to, like you say, he's going to be the wild card. You will see him in packages. So again, it's no way we can write Deuce Vaughn off. But I'm saying y'all heard it first right here at the Cowboy Huddle podcast. So we're just sharing this with y'all, what you guys. But again, we have to consider this, right, football junkie?
You got to consider, man, because when we look at the metrics of the situation with the Cowboys running back room, everybody in that backfield can catch the ball out the backfield. Or you can line them up and slide. Every single one of them. Hunter, Lukey, Marfa, Deuce, Save, Blue, Williams, Parker, all those guys can catch the ball. Every single one of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that means that you won't. Again, I like Mike McCarthy, but it was time for him to go, brother. It was time for him to go.
Can I ask you a question? Where did Hunter Lukey come from?
Say it again.
Where he played college ball there? Didn't he play in North Dakota?
Give it up. So they're talking about.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one. You're right. And they're talking about using him more of an H-back, tight end type player. So now, so let me ask you this: so football junkie, who are we keeping? In your opinion, who are we keeping as the running backs? And how many are you keeping?
We're looking right now. We're looking at 6 in the running back room right now. We're looking at 6, and that's not even. We're not even talking about undrafted free agents either. We're just talking about that we are knowledgeable of. I'm gonna keep the youth movement, man. I got to keep our fullback Hunter. We got to keep Jada. We got to go with Blue, Marfa, Deuce. I really, when it comes to, go with the youth movement, because you're gonna get more bang for your bucks. Not only just bang for your bucks, you're gonna get more speed.
Yeah.
More power.
Less miles.
Less miles. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
literally.
I totally agree with you, man. Like I said, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, nothing towards them, but they were security blankets. We picked them up because we didn't have any running backs. But I really see what can happen is you're going to probably keep 4, but you're going to keep Hunter Luke as you're going to list him as a tight end, because we got a crowded tight end position room as well. Mm-hmm. So you keep him as that tight end, listed as a tight end, maybe the 4th tight end, field tight end, whatever, how many they're going to keep. But he's also be able to run into the backfield as well. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that as well, bro. So I like I say, I'm excited, but I'm keeping Deuce, Jaden Blue, Phil Marfa, and Hunter Lukey. And the 2 veterans, they might find themselves somewhere else to go. I'm just saying, It just nothing against them, but I'm like you. Let's go with the youth, brother.
And then I mean, um, they'll probably keep one around though. Just have some
Yeah,
veterans. I mean, if anybody, they probably keep around. It'd probably be Miles, but I don't think so. Me personally, if anyone would be keep around, would be Williams. Because Williams has less miles too on him. He's more has he's been in the league. This is what third season here now.
right.
So I feel like if any one of those out of those two, if the push come to shove out of those two, they have to make a decision. It'll be Miles gone. I believe Williams will still be there. Because I feel like uh, Williams can help set a tempo. If he's healthy, if he's 100%, he could possibly help set a tempo, but I still feel like we should still go with the youth movement.
Yeah,
It could be a situation where they might want to get him some television time so they could probably trade him off
yeah. Well,
before trade deadline.
there you, yeah, and like I say, it's a business, man. It's a business, and
Business.
it's going to happen. You're going to start cutting back here, starting training camp, and you got the June 1st post and pre and post. So we're gonna see what
Yeah.
happens with that. I don't know what we got going on with that as well. So, we're gonna finish up these OTAs, and then we'll take some time off, and then we'll come back for the training camp. And yeah, like after that, we'll be going into preseason. So there's a lot to see, man. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with going with youth, man, and keeping them to running back. But again, like I said, don't count Deuce Vaughn out.
No.
And I
No.
see Deuce Vaughn more on the stretch plays, the screen plays, things like
Hmm.
that, off tackle plays, because I think that's what a lot of this offense is going to look like when it comes to the run game. That just what I think is going to happen, man. So since we're doing running back by committee, you got your three. There's your
Oh yeah.
three.
There's your three right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, y'all heard it first from the Cowboy Huddle podcast off Saturday morning sit down. Saturday sit down with G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton, and I got Football Junkie. So if you hear this anywhere else, they got it from where? Us. Give it up. But this is definitely something to think about, man. And like I say, there's some news that you can use and some rumors and things like that. But this is something to consider. But again, you guys tell us what you think about this move. Is it possible that Connor Riley will use Deuce Vaughn, or do you guys think Deuce Vaughn is just a wasted pick that he might go ahead and move on away from Deuce Vaughn? You guys leave down there in the comments below and let us know what you think about this reunion, okay?
Oh
Reunion
yeah.
between Connor Riley and Deuce Vaughn and Cooper Beebe. So, but do me a favor before you leave, make sure you hit the like button right now. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because you know what? Hitting the subscribe button is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that subscribe button so we can create a bigger algorithm with the Cowboy Huddle podcast. And again, thank y'all, man, for hanging out with us. Football Junk, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah. One more little adding piece.
I'm
Uh,
listening.
they're pretty big on solid blocking tight ends too.
Yes, sir.
They real
Yes.
big. I've been looking at some stuff how they've been talking, how adamant they've been about we like a tight end that can catch the ball, but we
Yeah.
also like a tight end that can catch the ball and block.
Give it up. There it is. So true. That is so true. So man, I'm excited, man. Like I say, listen to Michael Irvin and Hall of Famer be excited at like he was, and he's seen some things, and for him to be excited like he is, dude, I'm hey man, I'm riding the coattail of Michael Irvin, man. I'm
Oh
going with the
yeah.
Hall of Famer. So yeah, man. So anyway, man, thank you for stepping through, y'all, and hanging out. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Again, like I say, without you guys being a part of this channel, man, we would not be where we are. But continue to follow us. We do have Monday Night Mic'd Up coming up. We also got What's Up Wednesday on Wednesday nights. That's our live stream. So check us out on that as well. But again, thank y'all, man, for hanging out with us and keeping it real. But like I always say, continue to stay safe and be blessed. Two fingers